Hello. There we go. Okay. Looks like it was on the wrong microphone. Nevertheless, folks, welcome to another night tonight of the Dota 2 playoffs for the Australian Esports University League. I'm Katie, is joined here on the solo cast tonight for a game between none other than the University of Melbourne's LooneyMelb, who have had a great showing so far this season, and a team that I have yet to have the privilege to properly cast, and that is RMIT Black. They're going to be battling it out and seeing whose Ancient is going to crumble first in this best of 3 series. And obviously, being the playoffs, there is a lot on the line, folks. So we are going to hop right into Hero Select, as these teams were eager and ready to get into it ASAP. So without further ado, let's swap on over to that and hope that the microphone is still working. It is. We are rolling with it. But hope everyone is having a wonderful Thursday so far. The draft so far, we have Pugner first pick. Bans looking fairly standard for this patch so far, with Coddle and Mars being taken off the board. Both very strong at the moment. Coddle having the highest presence in the current patch out of all the position 5s available. And Pugner, we've seen this hero as well be a very prominent ban. But the fact that it has gotten through that first ban phase means that Team LooneyMelb are going to pick it up right away. I believe we have actually seen a couple of their players, 9 I do believe, pilot that Pugner to great success, and the response is going to be the Grimstroke from the opposing team. Grimstroke, a lot of great CC to be able to stop Pugner from casting the way he wants, and his spells in general very good for abusing Pugner's lack of mobility. And honestly, Pugner doesn't have the most range either, and getting a little bit too close to a Grimstroke can be disastrous. So they're going to have to want to watch out for that one moving on into the draft phase. But my goodness, was definitely a scramble to get everything ready for a solo cast, as always. Lots to do, all by my lonesome here. Well, not all by my lonesome. Of course, I've got you folks tuning in at home. Chaos Knight also getting locked in here. RMIT Black choosing to show potentially their position 1 quite early. We have seen them... Well, I haven't seen this team specifically, but we have seen in the tournament so far a little bit of that CK POS 3. So it has shown some flex potential, but the CK POS 3 didn't look too hot, I won't lie, compared to the CK POS 1s we've seen in the tournament. So it's going to be interesting to see where RMIT Black choose to take this hero in the game. Second ban phase should be nice and standard here. One would imagine the pick, it's going to be the Dragon Knight getting locked in first. Or second, should I say, for Team LooneyMelb. And we're moving on to the bans. I didn't turn my fan off. There we go. Should be much more quiet, a little bit less background noise into the microphone for you all at home. But the Dragon Knight getting locked in, really good answer to the Chaos Knight, obviously. Very stock standard.
5 seconds.
I mean, it's simple, really. You know, Chaos Knight, he wants to hit you with that Rift, and then big crits, tons of damage. Dragon Knight having access to that Dragon Blood, gonna be just an absolute ton of armor available, and he is yeah, he's gonna be really tanky, hard to kill. Fan face here also pretty standard. You know, Tiny, one of the more picked heroes of the patch, was also one of the most heroes picked in the last patch. I think he's the highest picked hero now for since TI, basically, in Immortal Plus. Very strong hero for obvious reasons, can be flexed into a multitude of roles, and very proficient in all of them. Right now, the damage is just too high coming out of this hero, and he is just too hard to kill at the same time, and the items that he has access to fix what are traditionally his biggest weaknesses, and also the tweaks to his talents, and the tweaks to obviously the removal of Craggy and getting the tree instead of that just being like an Aghanims upgrade made the whole carry Tiny thing much more consistent, much more viable. He doesn't need to reach that Aghanim spike to be useful. It's definitely very, very good. And Medusa as well. Another very strong position 1 at the moment. Also does give Chaos Knight a little bit of a hard time. Seems like they really want to take away the heroes here that Chaos Knight has difficulty bursting down with those rifts. Tiny, just an egregious health pool. Very naturally high armor thanks to Grow. And, of course, Medusa with that mana shield. Chaos Knight, not exactly a hero that can itemize towards mana burn very well, is going to have a really hard time not only getting on top of the Medusa, that's going to likely have a Skadi, but then also killing the Medusa. And Split Shot is able to deal with Phantasms very well. So, no mistake there why RMIT Black wanted to take that one off the board. LooneyMelb, a little bit more concerned about the position 3 role here by the looks of things, choosing to opt more aggression into the Sand King and the Timbersaw, wanting to probably give their position 1 here a little bit of an easier game. Whether or not that's going to be Dragon Knight, which is one of the big things about Dragon Knight as well as a hero. He's able to not only very proficiently pilot, the position 3, but also the position 1 sometimes, and even the position 2 role. I've even seen Dragon Knight go into the support role, using that Dragon Spike stun to really enable some picks, just rushing the Blink Dagger, blinking around, getting that point and click stun. Very good, very strong. And then obviously he's also then able to flex into a sort of pseudo core. It only really works as a position 4 because he doesn't have enough utility to function as a hard support 5. He does want to get some items at some point, but that is very niche, very rare. Chaos Knight definitely much better as a core, but he can flex all 3 core roles, which is the big prominence about putting a pick like the Dragon Knight in the first phase, like LooneyMelb has gone for here. It allows them a lot of flexibility with their draft. But Earth Spirit getting picked up for RMIT Black, one of my personal favorite heroes. I know we saw a lot of success with it last season in 2021, with Reem piloting the Earth Spirit in a couple games for Giga Chatterlade, who went on to be the season's 2nd place, and so definitely had a lot of success there, going for that position 2, actually, core Earth Spirit. Whether or not we see a position 2 Earth Spirit here, or we see him flexed into a more traditional role, will remain to see. But very fun hero to watch. I'm excited to see if they're going to be able to pull out proficiency on it. Is sort of a hero that you do need to be good at. He's quite hard to play to a degree. Not necessarily hard to play, but he's a little bit unorthodox. You need to be a bit of an Earth Spirit specialist to really get the most out of him. But Winter Wyvern getting locked on, in here, which is definitely an interesting one. I suppose Winter's Curse can actually cause Chaos Knight a little bit of trouble if his Phantasms are there. As they do quite a bit of damage, and if they are able to Winter's Curse, the main one, his illusions can sometimes rack up a ton of damage on him by the time the stun expires. But other than that, I'm interested to see. Oh, obviously Cold Embrace is really good. You see an ally get rifted, you can Cold Embrace them before the crit auto attack comes through, and you'll be able to prevent an absolute ton of damage. But Ricky getting locked in here, this is awesome. Ricky is a super strong counter pick in the current meta of Dota 2, but we actually haven't seen him picked so far. In my games, at least, that I've had the privilege of casting, we have not seen a Ricky pick here, but it's really good against this comp. Grimstroke hates getting silenced and having a melee like Ricky on top of him when he can't cast his spells to self-peel. Earth Spirit not being able to cast is literally a walking creep with a ton of health. He can't do anything. And Chaos Knight, that mischance is going to be absolutely amazing against Chaos Knight and his illusions. Very reliant on right clicks and crits in order to get his damage off, and the smoke screen, which you can't really do anything about unless you have something like a BKB, which an illusion hero like Chaos Knight doesn't really want to be itemizing, at least not very early. He's going to have a very hard time playing into Ricky, but I would imagine with their current comp, this Ricky is going to be going into the position 1 role, putting Dragon Knight into likely the position 3, and then Pugna either going 4 with a Wyvern 5, or we have the Pugna going middle, and then Wyverns flexing between 3 and 4, oh sorry, 5 and 4, depending on their next couple of picks. But we're going to have the Viper Lock in here for RMIT Black, very venomous champion for the, what is it, Redback? Redback is the RMIT esports mascot. I guess it's quite fitting.
Seconds remaining. 5 seconds remaining.
Waiting on bans here. While we're waiting on the bans, this looks like a good time for us to talk about our sponsors today. See if I can do this completely Han Solo. There's going to be a lot of clicking. You at home should appreciate the mouse dexterity required to pull off some sponsor reads like this during a ban phase. But first up, of course, we've got Predator. Should be no mistake. You can conquer new worlds with Predator Gaming today. Predator are the gaming PC partner of the AEL, and you can conquer new worlds with Predator Gaming, where Predator puts power and precision in your hands to elevate your gaming experience in every way with quality and performance thanks to Predator. As well as that, we've got a very fancy new sponsor read for AOC, who have just launched the first ever monitor crafted for League of Legends. That's right, if there's one thing I know Dota fans love, it's League of Legends. League of Legends is represented in every aspect, from the iconic Hextech design and logo to a specific game-setting mode. In-game visuals achieve their fullest potential from the combination of AOC's monitor expertise with the creators of League of Legends Riot Games. You can check out the Aegon Pro AG275QXL today at au.aoc.com. Aren't monitor names just a ton of fun to remember? I can always keep them at the top of my head, I promise. But, of course, last but certainly not least, RIG are what it takes to win. If you don't know anything about RIG or RIG, they develop headsets delivering superior audio quality for competitive gamers and streamers at all levels, and you can join the RIG team and enhance your gaming experience today. And that is going to be the big three, ladies and gentlemen. We're going to hop right back into the drafts, where it looks like we have nearly gotten to the end of the ban phase. Isn't that nice and lovely?
Dire team back.
Looks like we've so far gone for Puck and Necrophos on the side of LooneyMelb. Does make a fair amount of sense. You know, their heroes definitely don't like getting silenced, and they definitely don't like getting locked down in place. They do like to be able to move around. Dragon Knight wanting to be able to sit at the back with that dragon form. In team fights, Pugna definitely not going to want to have people on top of him. And Ricky, very elusive hero, but if you're able to lock him down and get on top of him, he will die quite quickly. So taking rid of those very, very good lockdown playmaking mages makes a lot of sense. And specifically the mages are important as well, because Dragon Knight, as we've said, very, very high armor values, and Ricky with that smoke screen, very annoying to be able to auto-attack as well with any physical damage dealers. So by taking out the mages, you are taking out the ones that most counter their current team comp lineup that they have going on. As well as that, obviously, Winter Wyvern, Cold Embrace, physical damage immunity, but still vulnerable to magic damage, which is kind of the idea that they're going for here. Very anti-physical comp, which is very good when you've got something like a Chaos Knight locked in very early in the draft. But they did bounce back with Viper, who is a very good magic damage-oriented right-clicker, very similar sort of style to Chaos Knight. Does do quite prominently physical damage, but has the ability to pump out a lot of magic damage as well, and kind of counter some of Dragon Knight's armor that he has going on here, as well as not needing to worry nearly as much about Ricky's mischance, as he is able to chuck the Viper Nether Toxin into the middle of the smoke screen. And as well as that, you know, Ricky getting hit with Viper ulti is never fun. Definitely never fun at all. And they're going to go for the Gyrocopter here to round out their draft. Now, this is an interesting one, because you would think with the supports that have been locked in here, which actually it could be Gyro support. Gyro 4, Gyro 5 has been played a little bit. I would be more likely to expect it's a Pugna Wyvern on the 4 and 5, but could be Gyro. You never know. We'll have to wait and see exactly what they choose to go for, but RMIT Black going to go for the Void Spirit here. We all know where that hero is going. That's going to be in the mid lane, position 2. We're going to see Fish pick up the Viper here, Bowl on the Earth Spirit, K on Chaos Knight, and Wong Saroon on the Grimstroke. It's going to be 9 on Gyrocopter, Monica, lol Enjoyer, of course, on Ricky, Zoobs on the Wyvern, Samsara on Pugna, and of course that does leave none other than Vorkor for the Dragon Knight, last but certainly not least. And that is going to be our game roster lineup for today, at least for this game. This one's looking like an interesting one. We've got some great heroes, definitely very aggressive heroes that love to get those frags, love to make the plays. So this is probably going to be a very, very kill-thirsty game. There's going to be gold dropping left, right, and center. So you just have to stay tuned right here, of course, to the Australian Esports League University League, and welcome to anyone that is just tuning in and checking out the stream. We've got a great best of 3 here tonight for the playoff stage between 2 of the best university teams in the country that are going to be battling it out to try and get to the end of the knockout bracket. And of course, let everyone know who exactly you think is going to take out the victory here tonight by typing it in the chat, as you would do in any stream, of course, by sharing your wonderful and very valued opinion. There'll be some gaps of silence when I drink water, because talking by yourself for a full best of 3 of Dota 2 definitely does dry out the vocal cords a little bit when you are doing the old casting thing. So, you know, you'll see me take an occasional swig of the old water. Beautiful home brand spring water. Nothing quite like it, folks. Nothing quite like it. But we are going to hop into game, and of course I'll change the scene for you all. Excited to see what these teams are going to be pulling out of the hat here. Hopping into this game 1. The Earth Spirit having the taunt. Love to see it. Big fan of the Earth Spirit taunt, personally. Don't know about you folks. They might be about to run into Samsara here. We'll have to see.
30 seconds to battle.
Has not skilled any ability yet. I would imagine that's because Snow Bunny is waiting. Maybe going to skill up the Aether Remnant if the Samsara Pugna does decide to check high ground. There is only Monica in the bot side, which means a support will probably have to path through mid. Not sure who that is just yet. Looking at items, I would imagine 9 is in the mid lane. Could be... It's probably Samsara in the support. Did end up skilling that Aether Remnant first. They're going to get the stun from the Grimstroke as well. Samsara going to be getting away, but they did force him to skill Decrep level 1, as well as bait out the healing salve to prevent the all-in from happening. Snow Bunny as well, having to use his own salve. So a bit of resources traded back and forth, and yes, it is going to be 9 in the position 2 role here. Zoob's looking to head up here to fill the position 4, and it is going to be Samsara and Monica in the position 5, or in the safe lane together, I should say. Wonderful stuff. Fish doing what Viper does and just kind of poking back and forth. In comes Bowl, not even waiting around. The rollout already used to try and get a bit of damage onto Samsara. He pops the Decrep to try and stay safe, but starting Decrep level 1 is a little bit scary because, as we said, you know, this Viper, this poison attack, it does do magic damage, which means you're going to be racking up quite a bit of damage if he's able to get one of those off and then you pop the Decrep. That extra magic damage is really going to melt through Pugna's squishy health pool in the early game, so he has to watch out for that. Monica probably just going to be doing what Ricky does, playing fairly safe in the laning phase, waiting for that level 6 when he gets the backstab multiplier and the invisibility. But my goodness, Samsara really just looking to have Bowl's number with these Bowl looking to have Samsara's number with these rollouts very early on into the laning phase. It's actually impressive that Fish is the one with the lower health pool, and my goodness, Bowl just able to find these constantly. This little CS lead in the mid lane at the moment. That's to be expected though. Ranged versus melee in the first couple of waves. Oh, beautiful trade here by Snow Bunny. This is going to be quite a bit of damage. And again, 9 not really able to trade back all too much. He only has this level 1 rocket barrage in terms of magic damage, and he's not going to be able to pump out enough physical damage to break through that shield in the early game. You can see he's gone for the 2 points in the Resonant Pulse. Very smart here. And obviously, you're going to lose out that trade 9 times out of 10 if you're just popping the level 1 rocket barrage, and that's it. Especially in a creep wave like that sort of was. So we'll see if Snow Bunny can outscale this one. Obviously, in the Mega late game, Gyrocopter does outscale this matchup, but Snow Bunny able to come online and move around the map and make plays happen with that Aether Remnant taunt into burst combo. Really look to snowball his side lanes, while Gyrocopter going to want to be scaling up to that kind of 2-3 item power spike and become that late game carry that we all know Gyrocopter is once he starts getting points in the flak cannon. Obviously, Gyrocopter also able to make picks with the homing missile, but not quite to the same degree as we know. Homing missile, very slow, not exactly the instant lockdown that the Void Spirit can provide. And last but not least on our little matchup roster here, I mean, we can see it getting very aggressive already. Vorkor dropping quite low. Sarun, he's getting creep blocked actually, and he's just going to get melted down by Zoobs with the Arctic Burn. Vorkor with a beautiful little stun there as well to set up the second kill of the lane, and this is looking wonderful for the Radiant so far. LooneyMelb coming out with a sizable victory up in this top side, but it was at the cost of a bit of a kill in the bot side for the Dire, so still not too much of a gold lead. And actually, it is the Dire that do find themselves at a slight gold advantage here. Less than 1,000, but still there nonetheless. Which is interesting when you do see the Radiant are up in CS. You have to wonder exactly where that comes from. I imagine just... Actually, I'm not too sure, to be honest. That is curious. They're up a kill, and also they have the higher CS out of the lanes. It is very interesting. Maybe they got an extra bounty or something? I wasn't actually paying attention to the bounties and who got them. Can I check? That doesn't look like it goes back that far. Very sad. But Samsara just getting bullied down here. Fish quite low. Pops the one to try and stay alive. But Monica with those blink strikes a little bit too hard to get away from. Not enough points in the corrosive skin, I would imagine. Only one so far. Sounds about right. And again, this Ricky, for him to be winning lane like this and coming out with kills pre-6 is very significant because Ricky is usually a very passive laner pre-6 before he gets that permanent invisibility unlocked. So this could prove very troublesome for the Dire side as this game does progress.
Denied.
Yeah, you can see 9 really struggling to break through that physical damage shield. Is able to get a little bit of damage back with the rocket barrage. Did just receive the broadsword. Maybe that will be the broadsword diff. We do see the Void Spirit with some items on the way of his own. Merely a sentry ward. It's no good. I do wonder what that is being picked up for, exactly what the requirement is.
Has been killed.
But a great analyst here, maybe I would ask, but nevertheless, it's just my little feeble brain. And unfortunately, it's not big enough to quite comprehend the option Snowy Bunny is looking for. We'll see soon enough. Yeah, this Chaos Knight did suffer a bit of a death up in the top side, but still very comfortably #1 in the last hits. Sitting not too far behind the Dragon Knight in net worth, who is only up because of that kill that he got a little bit earlier, of course. But this lane is certainly the one to watch. Very competitive in terms of the farming.
Radiant structures are fortified.
I would like to mention Fish's denies this game. Sitting at 25 last hits to 12 denies. Able to keep Ricky down at only 23 last hits, which is really great. When you're able to keep the enemy 10 creep score behind your own position 1, definitely is a great thing. If you're able to, you know, stretch that out to the point where your position 1 is able to hit the 50 at 10 minute, 50 creep score at 10 minutes mark, and the enemy is, you know, maybe at 30, that is really, really significant in terms of the farm, because it's kind of the way Dota works, you know, everything's in a bit of an incremental snowball. If you're able to get your farming item a couple minutes earlier than the enemy, and you're able to snowball, you know, it might only be a tiny little bit of a gold lead when you actually get that item, but by the time the enemy catches up, that chasm can actually be much, much larger. So small gold leads are important, and they can definitely make a difference, especially in that position 1 role, which is very decided by farm. And of course, one thing that is very bad for your farm is dying, and K constantly being the target of bullying here as Vorkor hitting the level 6, popping the dragon form immediately, and looking to bully K out of the laning phase. But does have the salve. They're looking to maybe get aggressive, but a great stun immediately in response from Vorkor is going to keep K off of him, popping those right clicks, and look at the damage that dragon form is able to do. But Snow Bunny getting a gank in the mid lane from Bowl is actually going to pick up a cheeky little kill onto Samsara. Love to see it. That's going to put him pretty comfortably ahead in net worth, I would imagine. Highest in the game, in fact. My goodness, a whole 1,000 ahead of 9 as well. 9 not looking too hot in this game so far, especially since you look at his items. He's gone for the double null talisman here. Definitely very aggressive items, looking for that early game dominance. Kills being traded back and forth up in this top line, safe lane once again. K gonna get taken down. Really not what you want to see if you are that Dragon Knight. Still very comfortably ahead of Ricky, over 1,000 net worth, but you know, at what cost at that point, right? What cost? Looks like we do have a bit of a pause, folks. Not over here. You guys can look at something a little bit prettier than a grey screen. But we got a good game so far. Definitely a lot of back and forth. It is currently 4 kills to 7 with the Dire side taking the lead. RMIT Black very slightly. I'm quite impressed with his team so far. We've seen 9 kind of roll over most of the mid lanes that he's been presented with so far, but looks like Snow Bunny might be a bit of a match for him here, although it is, as I said, a little bit of a tough matchup. Void Spirit comes online much earlier, is able to itemize those very early ganking items and those early power items to try and snowball ahead of the curve with kills. Whereas Gyro generally wants to be going the more farming item-oriented route, looking to pick up those sorts of items and scale into a much more late game sort of build. So whether or not the Gyrocopter is going to be able to bounce back from this one, we're just going to have to wait and see. But at the moment, it looks like Snow Bunny running away with an absolute steal of a game in the mid lane. Certainly going to be a player to watch. Top side, absolute slaughterfest, as we know. Kills being traded back and forth between the Dragon Knight, the Chaos Knight. It is just the showdown of the Knights in the top lane. Bit of chivalry on both sides. And of course, the supports as well being equally as bloodthirsty. Wong Saroon sitting quite low on the Grimstroke at the moment. He is going to have to watch out. Vorkor as well, sitting in the lane. Very low on mana, but does have access to that Soul Ring, as you would expect from a position 3 Dragon Knight, to spam out that Breathe Fire, clear out the waves, do a bit of poke, and really make sure he can keep up the pressure onto that opposing position 1. Looks like the reconnect has happened though. Vorkor has returned, and they are going to be unpausing any second. I would hope. In my heart, I wish that to happen. I hope you guys enjoyed the fit today. Normally when we're on a duo cast, I always worry about being overdressed or something compared to who I'm casting with on a given day. So generally in duo cast, I like to keep it a little more casual, but I'm like, you know what? I'm solo casting. We're going to make this. We're going to be dripped out today. We're going to be absolutely suavin'. So we got the suit and tie out. We pulled it out off the rack. And ready to look at some Dota games. The G's are being called, and I'm sure you can hear that. So ding, ding, ding. We are going to be hopping right back into the game without missing a beat. Monica actually having to
middle tower is under attack.
TP topside here. Oh no, TP back to Fountain. Okay. Is heading topside though, however. Actually quite a good game sense. I don't think he had any wards in this bottom side, but he sensed out there could be a potential gank, and the 3-person roam down towards the bot side is not going to find themselves the Ricky. He's going to be not there, heading towards the next safest... I can draw on the map, I guess. So this area is now absolutely... Can I draw on the map? Yes, I can't draw on the map. My mistake. I can draw in the game though. So obviously the triangle here, very unsafe now that they've taken this tower in the bottom side. So Ricky does not want to be farming this lane, as he can just get ganked from all of this area. He can't farm these camps. However, the triangle, still both tier 1 towers up. So the triangle, definitely the safest neutral farm that he can get access to right now. And also he has 2 lanes and 2, like, with tier 1 towers that he can kind of dip between to pick things up. So going topside here makes a lot of sense for the position 1. You definitely do want to be sending your position 3 down here to number 1, create space by pushing out these waves up to here and taking the unsafe farm. You do want to be paying attention to this fight though as it's happening. Just a bit of back and forth here, and Fish getting dropped very low by the Rocket Barrage. Now I'm going to find a cheeky little pickup here. It's actually going to be Vorkor. He's going to KS that one very skillfully with the damage over time. And Vorkor quite low, but going to get out nice and safe. Very well played. Like I said, I would expect none other than Vorkor to head down to this bot side here, push out this lane, take this farm. Because there are creeps that are just dying to the tower right now. This is wasted gold, wasted XP. Something that I'm sure they are aware of, and they're going to amend soon. Send someone down here. It is going to be Zoobs. Yes, sir. LooneyMelb showing a bit of faith. Or restoring my faith, I should say. He's going to walk over a ward here, though. We'll have to watch out. He's going to get to the lane with no problems. Kay's going to see him. Back off. Grab some neutrals now that he's shoved in that wave. Very smart. Maybe a pick here. Vorkor. Will he dodge the Aether Remnant? No, he won't. That's going to be all the CC. And the silence. This is what I was talking about. The Grimstroke counter. Grimstroke's such a smart pick into the Pugna there. Vorkor, he's so tanky with the Dragon Blood points, but not tanky enough. And Samsara might have bitten off a little bit more than he can chew walking up there. Drain life available to try and keep himself topped up if he's able to get under the tower. Great little stun, and that is going to be the burst coming through from Snow Bunny. Unstoppable with a double kill, and this Void Spirit is running away with the position 2 lead at the moment. Sitting very comfortably at number 1 net worth in the game. 5,049. Very good stuff here. Good performance from RMIT Black so far. And it's actually going to be Monica that's taking this unsafe farm at the moment. Very interesting. I suppose there's been a lot of fighting up in this top side here. So he just sees that all the heroes are top side. So even though it's technically the unsafe farm, speaking of unsafe, they might actually turn this one around. The Pugna, oh my goodness, the drain life just keeping 9 alive while he absolutely pumps the enemy team. Beautifully done. Super hard to take down with this first item, Blade Mail, plus Raindrops build that he's gone for here. It's a little bit unorthodox. I have not seen it myself all too often, but paying off dividends for 9 in the mid lane right now as he turns around what looked like a disastrous situation.
It's under attack.
Samsara quite low, getting silenced up. The rollout is there. He's looking, he's getting a little bit greedy. Bolvo, maybe a little too greedy as the Winter's Embrace, or the Cold Embrace, I should say, is there to keep him alive from the magnetism damage. The healing going to be a little bit too high, I'm afraid. And Vorkor doing what Dragon Knight does best, melting down towers with Dragon Form. Snow Bunny, though, does have the stun placed on him. He's looking to try and collapse onto the Gyrocopter, but the Blade Mail is there to keep him alive from the burst. They turn it around with the homing missile, though. The stun, the cooldown. Oh my goodness, this could be a big shutdown onto Snow Bunny. Yes, indeed, he's going to go down. Fish going to be next on LooneyMelb's agenda. Another homing missile is going to secure his fate. In comes K, though, looking to try and melt down Zoobs with these crits. The Winter's Curse is there. And that might just be enough to turn things around. Yes, indeed, Vorkor crazy right now with a triple kill. He's pumping out these right clicks in the backline with the Dragon Form. And that is going to be LooneyMelb coming up with a complete team wipe without a single death of their own. Absolutely wonderfully played. And that is going to swing the gold advantage to their favor with a comfortable 2k lead. And looking at the fight recap here, we can see that was absolutely disastrous for the side of RMIT Black as they lost so much. And look at the XP swing as well. Just absolutely disastrous when you lose your main carry, the Void Spirit, that early on into the fight, thanks to a wonderfully coordinated CC chain coming through from the side of LooneyMelb. We'll wonder what they do with that gold lead, though, how they choose to transition that into the next push, and the next team fight is going to be very, very important. As we said, you know, this RMIT Black roster, they do have a very scary, ganking, aggressive comp in the early game, but they do fall off quite hard. Void Spirit in the late game, not quite as strong as he is right now, as he does rely on the base damage of his skills to get that burst combo off, and he is an int hero, so he's not going to scale as well as an Agi carry, something like an Ember Spirit, for example, who is able to build a more crit-oriented style of gameplay. And Viper, of course, we've all seen Viper in the late game. Very, very strong at this point in the game once he gets those first items or two. But a 6-slotted Viper really isn't that scary because he just dies. He just explodes. He's a very, very squishy hero into the late game. He doesn't itemize health very easily. And if you... He also doesn't have much range as well. Like, he's sort of like a sniper, but without the range in the late game. So you can just get on top of him very easily, and once you do, he just sort of explodes. Corrosive skin in the later stages of the game, not enough to really prevent him from getting bursted down by those strong physical damage carries. So, considering they do fall off, and you would say that the scaling composition here is LooneyMelb, the fact that LooneyMelb have a gold lead at only 15 minutes is disastrous for the side of RMIT Black. Hopefully they can turn this one around here. We'll see if they decide to make any aggressive plays to try and get their lead back, or if they're just going to tough it out, trade objectives, which they are trading a tier 2 right now for a tier 1 in the mid lane. I think their own tier 1 is missing. Bit of a collapse here. The Winter's Curse might be completely enough to 100-0 Fish. It practically is. Wong Sarong going to get melted down by Vorkor as well with those right clicks with the Dragon Form. Snow Bunny going to have to back off as he watches his teammates die. And LooneyMelb just finding more and more picks. The gold lead getting stretched from 2k now to 4k. and it's looking absolutely disastrous right now for the side of RMIT Black, as LooneyMelb are just showing completely how much synergy this comp has. They're finding the picks, they're finding the lockdowns, and the team fight synergy is just on point, despite maybe the composition being a little bit weaker at this stage of the game. But we did talk about, you know, the very intelligent counter picks though, right? You saw that the Dragon Knight got locked in very early. You immediately respond with the Dragon Knight, who has full points in Dragon Blood, going for the 4-1-4 build. Very smart when you're trying to avoid all the physical damage that is coming out of that Dragon Knight. And then, you know, your position 1 is not really a threat in these fights. And then because of that, you're able to then counterpick the rest of their heroes. We said Ricky does extremely well into the rest of their very spellcasting-oriented composition. And he is really showing that to his full effect right now. Ricky sitting very comfortably at 5-0-4 at the moment, backing up Vorkor on that very unkillable Dragon Knight. Just really smart drafting from the side of LooneyMelb in this game 1, and I'm sure it is going to be something that RMIT Black are going to note as we head further on into this best of 3. Bowl. Nearly gets out with the rollout, but not quite enough. And the blink into stun from Vorkor once again. It's going to find 1. It's going to find 2. K almost getting taken out as well. The TPs are coming through though. Bowl with the buyback looking for Vorkor very early here. He gets the stun, the kickback into the team. The silence, it's there. They're trying to melt Vorkor down, but look how tanky he is. The Winter's Curse, it's there from Zoobs. And this is absolutely disastrous for RMIT Black as they come up short in finding the picks they need. They finally melt down Vorkor, but it might be too little too late as the Decrepify is keeping 9 alive for a little bit extra. K gets the Rift to try and bring the Gyrocopter back, but he's just pumping out too much damage right now in the back with his DD rune. Zoobs is in the trees, throwing out these ice shards, and it is melting the backline's health. They are trading kills back and forth though, still a very close fight, and 9 hungry for more, tries to get the call down onto Snow Bunny with the homing missile, but not able to find it, unfortunately, and both teams are just going to shake hands and walk away from this one. Definitely the closest fight we've seen so far. However, it is still going to be LooneyMelb with a gold lead ultimately. However, the fight, by the looks of things here, did actually end up going the way of RMIT Black, eventually shortening that gold lead and giving themselves a little bit of an XP advantage as well coming out of that. And they didn't lose any real objectives for it either. So we'll have to see where things go from there. But super well played from both teams there. That was an exciting fight. Hopefully we see a couple more of those this game. Atos on the Viper. I mean, I can understand it, right? You are against a very mobile Ricky that you are wanting to be able to lock down. If Ricky appears on a creep wave, you're immediately able to pop the Atos. He's not able to blink strike back to an ally. You can walk up, pop the dust, pop the ulti. Ricky's probably just going to die at that point, right? There's not much you can do.
Radiant's middle tower is
Definitely very smart itemization there. As well as that, the Atos, great for being able to get on top of the gyro. It's great for being able to kite the Dragon Knight. Definitely a very versatile item here, and I'm sure we'll see that used to its full effect. But Vorkor, going for a very stock standard position 3 build, picks up the Soul Ring, looks for the Blink Dagger, and immediately after he got that Blink Dagger, he just started going with those Blink Stuns, Blink Stun, Blink Stun, Blink Stun. Grabbed himself the Aghanims here for the Fireball to be able to shove out those side lanes. That's the job of the position 3. Get that unsafe side lane farm at this stage of the game, create space, create pressure, and grab the farm that your position 1 and 2 are a little bit too vulnerable to be able to go and collect, and he's able to get that much safer when he has that shard unlocked. And obviously you're not going to be itemizing towards any real right-click damage. If you are the position 3, you're going to be wanting to go for those tank items, those utility items, those engage items. So going for the shard here is definitely going to make up for that lack of damage in the wave clear that he so needs. It is interesting that he's a little bit split from his team right now, though, as the position 3. You would think this would be the position 1 off farming by himself, and the position 3 would be grouped with the team trying to look for things to happen. They do decide to move towards Vorkor though, as we see here, and there it is, the Blink Stun and the team to follow up. That's exactly what I was just talking about. Well done, LooneyMelb! And they nearly grabbed themselves a pick onto Snow Bunny as a result. Ooh, the Ice Shards, that would have been clean if he managed to get that one off.
Dire's middle tower is under attack.
Okay. Good armlet toggles right now to keep himself alive, but 9 ultimately going to find that one, and they're going to get the pick with the Winter's Curse onto Snow Bunny as well. Monica has officially come online. We can see the items. He's got the Diffusal Blade first, freshly finished, and picking up a wonderful little set of kills there. Beyond godlike at this stage of the game. And they are just going to march down the mid lane, take out these towers, and look to do the absolute mostest that they can to these barracks.
Dire's middle tower is under attack.
Blade Mail keeping 9 alive once again. Went for a Sanj here, actually. There's a very tanky gyro build, really just looking to be a nuisance. Pop out the homing missiles when he needs to. I suppose he knows this is a very dive-heavy composition. If he goes for a squishy build, he's just going to get... Grimstroke is just going to put the stun onto Void. Void's going to dash on him. The sun's going to pop, and then the gyro is just going to die immediately. So he wants a little bit of tankiness. He's actually going for the Sergeant Kaya into the E-Blade. Very interesting build. But it's working well for him so far.
Wonderful.
See what they decide to do with this smoke. Looking to go in here. Oh, it is going to be Wong Sarong.
Radiant's courier has been killed.
Nice and simple pickup there. They're going to find themselves a tasty Phantasm. Lovely stuff.
Radiant's middle tower is under attack.
Ooh, BKB finish for Vorkor. This is probably going to be a big go window, and it looks like the entire enemy team is moving down towards Vorkor. Zoobs maybe going to get collapsed on here. The silence is there. But the counter initiation coming through from 9. He pops the call down. Wong Sarun going to get melted down immediately. But look at the magnetize damage. Oh my goodness. However, the BKB is there from Vorkor, so the magnetize not going to be able to melt him down, unfortunately, as he just smacks down K. But Monica is there to finish off Bowl as well. We talked about how strong this Riki was at this stage of the game. Fish, the BKB is going to expire, and there's going to be nothing left to protect him from getting chased down by the rest of the Radiant side, and that is going to be a couple of tasty kills into the pocket of Team LooneyMelb as they look to pick up a nice, cheeky, free bot lane tier 1. And they're also maybe going to look to try and get some pressure here onto the racks.
Dire's bottom tower is under attack. Dire's bottom tower has fallen. Dire's bottom tower is under attack.
Monica with a great instant BKB there, going to keep himself alive. Tries to Blink Strike to Fish for a bit of safety. The TP, will he be able to get out in time? The BKB's still there. Yes, indeed. Wonderful escape from Monica, really well played. Is going to buy himself another day, another $1. Dire did commit too much for that kill though, and they did get Ricky's BKB down, as well as obviously using it there does lower its duration. Just very significant on Ricky compared to a lot of heroes. The duration does matter a lot if you are Ricky. For example, if he had a shorter duration BKB, he wouldn't have lived in that situation. Would have expired by the time he TP'd out, and would have gotten stunned by the Earth Spirit. Still a while away on this BKB, and they are going to find a cheeky pickup onto Bold. It's caught lacking in the enemy's triangle. Even though it's their triangle. It's the enemy's triangle now, because they've got an observer ward in it. Does get pinged out by... Well, it got pinged by Ricky, actually, so I suppose he knows it's there. So does the Dire, to be fair. There is a sentry ward here. It should see this. Whoever placed this should have seen this placed, since it did just get placed.
Dire's bottom tower has fallen.
So they do know it's there. Ooh, but they're going to find both wards. So now it truly is Radiant's triangle. There is nothing of the Dire's in here. And they have the whole place sentried.
Top tower is under attack.
My goodness, that damage! The Dire finally finding themselves a cheeky kill into Samsara. Cage is really huge. Blinks in, gets the Echo Saber crits, and that is all she wrote. Gonna find a nice easy kill. Level 17 here for the Void Spirit, very close to getting that level 3 ult. Very notable damage increase. And a lower cooldown, obviously, and an increased slow. Fish also nearly level 18, actually. K has just at level 18, which is very significant, but no Phantasms available just yet. Used it on the kill that they just got before. Really, really good reaction with the called Embrace there. But it is only going to delay the inevitable. Because there is way too much damage coming out of these four at the moment.
I'll take that.
To anyone just tuning into the stream, you are watching the first game of tonight's playoffs match between University of Melbourne's team LooneyMelb and RMIT Black for the Australian Esports University League. Season 1 of 2022. So far, these fights do seem very back and forth. By how these fights are playing out, you would expect this to be a fairly close game, but it is 10k in the side of Radiant with a 12 kill advantage. But it doesn't feel that way at all, which is certainly something if you are RMIT Black. But again, I did say from the very beginning, Radiant do have the scaling comp here. So this could get very scary very quickly. Looks like Radiant are just going to pull the trigger and look to try and sneak a Roshan. This could either go very well or very bad. We'll have to wait and see. I think the Radiant know something's up. They do find a pick onto Zoobs. Snow Bunny, the Aether Remnant is there. They find the Taunt onto Vorkor. The rollout is there. The cooldown popped as well. Everyone is blowing absolutely everything. Wong Sarong stunned on the backside, but it doesn't even matter as his cores have come to play, and they are going to melt down the entire roster as Magnetize, one of the best spells in the game at doing AoE damage to an enemy team that is all grouped up in one place like that. And that was just a ton of AoE. Oh my goodness. And that is going to be Aegis now. On to Snow Bunny. So this is something. I was just talking about a 10k gold lead going over to the side of the Radiant, and it has been squashed to only 1k as that Roshan fight happened. And that is why Roshan takes like that when everyone is alive is a little bit risky, ladies and gentlemen. That is how you lose a winning game of Dota.
Radiant's middle tower is under attack.
Really good heads-up play, though, by the side of RMIT Black. They knew something was up. They knew there was no one in any of the lanes. They had vision in the jungle, and they knew that there was no one in the jungle either. And they immediately just made the heads-up play that they were probably on Roshan, and they were correct, and they come out huge because of it. Really good shot calling there. Really good decision-making from the side of RMIT Black. It's worth noting, I don't think Chaos Knight even had Phantasms available for that fight either. It's definitely one of his major cooldowns, one of their major kind of core cooldowns. Now looking for the pick here onto Fish though. Fairly tanky with that Nether Toxin. The BKB is there. He's able to get it off. Looking for the BKB TP. Will he get it off in time? Yes, he will! Ooh, that is disastrous for the side of the LooneyMelb roster. Not being able to grab that one. They are going to force out the BKB though. That is down for a full minute. See if they force anything in the meantime while they know that that isn't available.
Don't mind if I do.
BKB cooldowns on the roster here. Who has one again? It's Vorkor, right? Oh, this is available. Yes, this is definitely something that they can force.
Radiant's bottom tower is under attack.
What is this? What was that? Is that new? I genuinely don't know what that was. Was that a neutral item? What? What was that? I've never seen that. I have not seen that, not once. Looking at everyone's items because I'm trying to see what that was. I guess we'll never know.
Radiant's bottom tower is under attack. Radiant structures are fortified. Dire's top
Picking
tower
up a nice
is under
bot
attack.
lane tier 2. Ooh, there's gonna be another team collision here. Radiant are smoked up. K is going to be the first one to come out in Division. Maybe going to look to immediately make the collapse, but Vorkor is there to peel off the damage. Phantasms are popped. They're looking to go aggressive here. Unfortunate stun is going to land onto Samsara. The Atos from Fish, and that is going to be a second pickup for K here. This Chaos Knight is massive. Look at the damage. Monster kill streak with a double kill. Looking to make it a triple kill. Snowbunny going to deny it though and take it away. Ricky doing his best to try and take a nice pick onto Bowl, but he's not going to find it. The CC is there to peel from the allies, and that is going to be 4 dead. No buybacks available, and Aegis still sitting on Snow Bunny. I have to imagine this is an RMIT Rax for sure. An insane comeback this team has displayed here in this first game. Really impressive. They were 10k gold down only minutes ago. Ooh, very low here. They are going to get killed eventually. But they had the Aegis, and it was at the cost of Nine's life. So whether or not that was worth it, we'll have to wait and see. Only the supports are alive at the moment. Or it was Pugna 2, wasn't it? No, it wasn't. It was Gyro 2. So it is the supports that are alive. Too much damage coming out of Fish onto these towers. He's melting them down with the Viper Strike. Doing his thing. Ooh, Winter's Chill. They're looking for the collapse here, the turnaround. Snow Bunny with the BKB, looking for the burst. They find it onto one. Fish on a killing spree. Snow Bunny with the pop. They're going to find both supports. Ricky alive in 5 seconds. Will Monica be able to finish off the enemy team and stop them from taking this ranged Rax? Or, heaven forbid, a second Rax at that. Could be absolutely disastrous if you are on the side of Team LooneyMelb. And Monica forced to just watch as 2 Raxes get taken down. It looks like they're just going to leave the Phantasms to deal with these ones. Are they actually not going to clear the illusions in time? Oh my days. Disastrous. And that is going to be a Rax and a half, I suppose. They didn't get the ranged one in the mid lane, but they did get both in the bot side and the melee here. That's going to be a lot of pressure in the bottom side, which arguably the more important side of the game at this stage of the game. That is the opposite side of Roshan. If you have the passive push happening on this bot side, constantly having to send people down here in vision to clear this, that is a clear go sign for Roshan when it does respawn. So RMIT Black gonna have to keep that one in mind. I would advise that they put their priority onto taking down this tier 1 tower though. As if they have this TP spot available, they're able to quickly rotate over to Roshan and potentially stop that push when someone comes down here to clear creeps that are being pushed in by the Rax minions. So we'll see if they decide to try and do that. Would definitely be the smart play. They don't have to take the tier 2, just this tier 1, which should be quite easy at this stage of the game.
Radiant are scanning.
Potentially the Radiant side do know this, as they have all sent themselves topside to push out this lane. Maybe aware that they really do not want to lose this tower before next Roche spawns. Which it is about to. Under a minute.
Earth's bounty.
Yeah, Monica he had a couple fights where he was so strong, but he's just been getting shut out, unfortunately. Manta style nearly completed, though. Does have the recipe there. It has arrived. Manta on Ricky's going to be significant here. There is a lot of silence, as I said, coming through from the Grimstroke, which is really putting a burden on him. Having Manta available to dispel that is going to be really, really great. This Lotus Orb, though, has really been doing work, I must say. Being able to Lotus Orb all of the single target disable that is on this lineup. Think about it. You Lotus Orb Decrep, you Lotus Orb the stun from Dragon Knight, you Lotus Orb the Gyrocopter homing missile, you can Lotus Orb Winter's Curse. Like, super strong, super good. Really heads up pick up here by the Viper. And it's shown off in the team fights. You just stick it on one of your cores and they suddenly become very difficult to deal with.
Radiant structures are fortified.
You know, K has his BKB, the BKB expires, and bam, it's there. Vorkor, though, nice blink timing, able to get out in time. Very nearly got taken out there by the stun. They have to watch out, though. Bowl in the trees, looking for a flank here onto the Radiant side. LooneyMelb looking to pop a smoke. They might go aggressive here. Zoobs. Arctic Burn. Over the trees. Just trying to clear out some vision in this triangle. Get themselves another foothold. But again, this is what they wanted. They were able to get the tower, which means they don't have this TP point anymore. And this wave is going to shove in because they have the racks. Someone will have to come down here and clear this. And it looks like, as we see, Nine is having to come down here. Monica moving down as well. And the Dire side are here now in full control of this Roshan area. They know they have the numbers advantage now that 9 has shown in the bot side. He immediately TPs up here. But again, every single wave, that is going to happen. And they're not going to be able to do this forever. Dire just have to play it slow, play it smart, and look to make the plays. And not get too aggressive. Use this Rax pressure to the full advantage. Play the macro game, play it smart, and they should be able to close this one out. But this game is certainly not far ahead enough for the Dire side at this stage where they can just play willy-nilly and expect to get a win no matter what they do. We look at the win percentage here. It is 90%, but a throw is certainly possible. With the hero levels here. Fairly even across the board, as you can see. A little bit of a Dire advantage, obviously, as you'd expect, but not by a lot. Again, that Lotus Orb, so smart from Fish. Oh, but the rollout actually comes through. Bowl, what are you doing? A little bit too aggressive there with the rollout, unfortunately, and he is just going to int a kill for free. That is going to be a 4v5 now. Buyback available, but it looks like Radiant are taking full advantage of that as the blink. They able to get the pick onto Wong Saroon first. Vorkor, look at the healing coming through from Samsara with the Drain Life, just absolutely spewing health into his position 3. The cooldown is there. 9 mopping through this dire lineup like it's no man's business, and unfortunately that was the Earth Spirit he had to buy back, but his team was already dead as the nearest TP point was all the way over here from where the fight was happening. I was talking about a throw, and that was exactly what I was talking about, and this is going to give Radiant a good advantage here to try and pressure this Roshan. They're able to force out the buybacks because of it. We'll see what happens. Okay, maybe getting a little bit too aggressive here. Has he bitten off more than he can chew? In comes the backup. Will Bol be able to save his position 1? Or position 3, I should say. No, he is just going to feed Vorkor a double kill, which is disastrous. There's no buyback available on the Earth Spirit. They know that. There is a buyback on the Dragon Knight. And they do have Grimstroke respawning in a few seconds. We'll see if they decide to commit the buyback on the POS 1. Doesn't look like they're going to do it. They are just going to give the Roche. And suddenly this game is looking a whole lot more even. That is going to be going on to Monica. He's just going to be able to dive in belligerently with that Riki now. Really aggressively. And look to get some picks. We look at the win probability, folks. Look at this. 90% all the way down to 55. Look at this massive swing. This is exactly what I was talking about before. A throw still very, very possible. Definitely just a little bit of impatience there from the Earth Spirit. They just had to wait it out, play the smart game, wait for the waves, wait for someone to have to move down and clear the waves, and then pressure the neutral objective as a 5 and either force them to take a 5v4 when they're already ahead, which is a guaranteed loss for the team with the 4, unless they make a miracle play, or they just concede the Roshan, in which case they transfer that into a top racks, they get megas, and then at that point, it's pretty textbook how to just close out the game. Instead, we have this situation. And it was all off just a little bit of impatience. Really shows how close this game is right now and how these players have to have a calm mental and really think about what's going on.
Don't mind if I do.
Riki actually going for the sleep dart here. Quite decent for these chaotic fights. Has the potential in this game to maybe hit a Phantasm, which is really unlucky, but you know, if he gets it onto the Void Spirit or something when he's a little bit out of the fight, that is really good. That's 3 seconds where he's not able to blow up a support, etc. I believe he has the Aghanims. No, he doesn't. He actually went for the Shard, but not the Aghanims this game. So he doesn't have the Silence, which is good. Oh, they do get... Oh, my goodness, the dust onto Riki. They're looking for the collapse here. K, so much damage. But look at the Winter's Curse. Look at the Winter's Curse. His own Phantasms. I talked about this interaction in Hero Select. Oh, my goodness. That could be the Thorn that undoes the dire side. Zoobs with the Aether Lens. Oh, sorry, with the Aeon Disc is going to pop. He's going to stay alive. They're looking to chase down Fish here. The damage is there. Wong Saroon, he tries to TP out, but he is not long for this world. He does. He actually gets out, my goodness. But will it be enough? I'm not sure it will. That was absolutely disastrous there. I mentioned it in Hero Select. The Winter's Curse counter response to the Chaos Knight lock-in. In the late game, you are able to Winter's Curse the main... Winter's Curse, the main Chaos Knight, and then from there, you know, look at the spell. Pierces spell immunity. You're able to just smack this down in his BKB, and then his Phantasms will melt him with those physical damage crits like it is no man's business. And that's exactly what we saw happen there. And K, who has been the shining carry of so many of these team fights, is his own undoing. And potentially... that is going to be the play that wins the Radiant side this game, but Snowbunny not going to be going down without a fight as he makes an aggressive engage onto 9. The Cold Embrace there, though, to keep him alive. He's going to have to back out as the BKB expires. Fish walking up a little bit too far is going to get stunned up. Look at the damage. It is there. Fish goes down. No buyback available for 120 seconds, and Monica going to be going forward, looking to get aggressive onto Snowbunny, but the mobility to get him out to safety is there. But it is just textbook clearing of towers at this point. The Black Dragon on Vorkor. So good. And melting down these towers. Look at him. He doesn't even need a creep wave. He is the creep wave at this stage in the game.
Dire's top tower tower has fallen.
Absolutely ridiculous how back and forth things are going right now. Snow Bunny able to pop out of existence to dodge the homing missile, looking to get another engage. The 3-man stun, the Grimstroke combo, the Magnetize, it's there! Could this be another swing back in the side of Dire? We'll have to wait and see. Snow Bunny going to be able to get out there thanks to the Aeon Disc pop. He is looking to get a re-engage here onto Monica. Monica stunned up, getting quite low, but he stays alive. The Decrepify keeping him back there for a little bit still. K waiting off in the wings. This Chaos Knight is the one to watch. He is the damage pumper right now on this Dire matchup, and he is going to be going hard and going swift onto Monica. 9 does pop the double cooldown, trying to buy his carries a little bit of space as they turn things around. They find the pick onto K. Snow Bunny goes forward. He might have bitten off a little bit more than he can chew. He manages to get out in time. Wonderfully done, but they do only find themselves Vorkor, and it's at the cost of 2. Buyback was there from K. We do see, again, these creeps are just pushing in. They do only have to hold. They do have this creep advantage in the bottom side wave. Zoob's Aeon Disc does get popped by Snow Bunny.
Dire's middle tower is under attack.
Look at the healing that they're able to pump out with the Drain Life as well as the Cold Embrace. 9. Mario shrooming it back up to full HP as they look to try and finish out the Ancient here. They're just going for the throne. They don't even care about the enemy team. They're just looking to smack this one down. K waiting off on the sidelines, but he's a little bit grouped away from his team. 9. The BKB is going to get popped as the Hex is there from Monica. I do believe that was. No? It was the Sheep Stick. It is 9 with the Sheep Stick. He's going to be able to self-peel it up with that one. The Glimmer Cape is there to stop the Snow Bunny engage. He's in the backside. The Lincoln is popped. Homing Missile is there. Has to pop the BKB in response. The cooldown used once again to try and peel the carries. But look at the damage that K can pop out. Zoobs immediately one-shot. The creeps are pushing into the bot side. They just have to keep the chase up. Vorkor's respawned, but he's not able to TP to rejoin the fight. And while I wasn't looking, Bowl again getting a little bit too aggressive, and he's going to get melted down by 9 with the damage. Snow Bunny still staying nice and full health thanks to the Aeon Disc, but it is popped. He has to play safe. There was a nice use of the Lotus Orb to try and keep the disables off of him. But look at Fish. He's still in the backside, pumping out damage. K, he's able to melt down Monica and melt down 9. Super good for this Dire side. Oh my goodness, the buybacks though, they're being popped left, right, and center. Monica cutting off in the side of this fight. Fish, he's gonna get knocked up. He is in the middle of 3 people. Monica looks to turn his attention onto him. Where's K? He's dead. They've killed the Chaos Knight. This is disastrous for the Dire side. Lotus Orb used by Fish to try and keep these disables off him for a little bit while longer, but not enough. Monica's gonna get the Blink Strike and finish him off. Snow Bunny gonna be next as Monica goes dominating. 9 with a double kill, and there is nobody left. No real buybacks available on any of the cores to stop this push, and they have 100 seconds to try and close out this game. Will the Radiant side be able to do it, or will the supports be able to hold this one off for a little bit while longer? It's only a few waves left as Bowl tries desperately to wave clear, but 9 with the TP. The Sheep Stick is there. The cooldown to follow. Bowl is gonna get obliterated. Glimmer Cape not enough to save him, and it is gonna be the Grimstroke going down as well, as a wonderful team fight turnaround from the Radiant side is gonna end our very eventful game 1 as University of Melbourne's team LooneyMelb come up victorious. My days, what an absolutely extravagant game 1 we just had there in this best of 3 series. If you thought that was entertaining, stick around as we've got plenty more just like that still to come. Whether or not we are able to see the kind of holes in the team comp that we saw there from the Dire side from RMIT Black, will they be able to fix them in this game 2 and potentially take things to a full game 3, or will Team LooneyMelb continue their dominance through this knockout bracket with a clean 2-0 tonight? We'll have to just wait and see as we come back for game 2 in a moment right here on the Australian Esports University League for Season 1 of 2022. Welcome back, folks, to the Australian Esports League. This is Cadius here for Game 2 between RMIT Black and the University of Melbourne's very own team, LooneyMelb. We just saw a very eventful Game 1 where LooneyMelb took away an amazing comeback victory, even though the whole game was a bit of a comeback back and forth. It was LooneyMelb who ended up being the comebackiest. That's just made that word up, and ended up taking away the victory with a very clean Radiant win. They've swapped over to the Dire side for this Game 2, and it is going to be RMIT Black on the Radiant, and we're just going to have to see how this one ends up panning out, but hopefully the RMIT Black lineup are able to patch the holes in their draft that they had. We saw that they had a little bit of a very early aggressive snowbally sort of lineup, and they weren't able to do that, which made those mid to late game team fights very hard against the very well placed and very well scaled LooneyMelb lineup that they had drafted, where they went tons of AoE, tons of lockdown, and it became very difficult for RMIT Black to turn things around. And obviously big shout outs to Zoobs on the LooneyMelb lineup specifically for that amazing Winter's Curse to be able to lock down K on the Chaos Knight, and ended up closing out that first game with a wonderful team fight. Well, there's a little bit of team fighting after that, but that was definitely the big turning point, I would say, in my own personal opinion. But looks like teams are in the way of drafting. We're going to throw it over to the drafting screen right now. We're going to have a look at exactly what they're getting up to here in this Game 2. Wonderful stuff. Very similar bans to last time. The Timbersaw is going to get taken out in the first phase this time instead of in the second phase like we saw previously. And Visage getting banned away as well. Pango, no surprise. Coddle, no surprise. Fairly stock standard bans here. The only one that's a little unorthodox might be Techies, but my goodness, Techies! I nearly said Timbersaw, but Techies caught me so off guard. My brain literally went empty, and I just said Techies. Instantly, we've got the Mars counterpick here from LooneyMelb. Well, not counterpick so much, but the pick encounter on the other side to the Techies. I mean, both are interesting heroes. Mars definitely very standard. Techies is a counterpick, though. The fact that Techies is just getting blinded in first phase, so interesting. Because there's a lot of heroes that definitely do make Techies have a hard time. Maybe they just weren't confident that it would get past the second ban phase. We'll have to wait and see. But Pugna, we did see LooneyMelb pilot the Pugna to great success last game. Samsara doing a wonderful job with that one. But he is a flexible hero. Again, doesn't necessarily mean that Pugna is going to be going in that with Samsara again. They could flex it around to a bunch of different places, so we'll have to wait and see.
Radiant team back.
Ooh, they're going to pick the Storm Spirit, second pick. Now, Storm Spirit can be taken in other lanes, but he is obviously very primarily a position 2 in the middle. So I would imagine them picking their pos 2 here very early is quite interesting, as they can just counterpick accordingly here. RMIT Black, you know, they picked their pos 1 very early last game, and it nearly worked out very well for them. Maybe picking their pos 2 here will also be fine. Who knows? By the way, it does look like both teams focusing on the position 1s here in the second ban phase, looking to take away those hard carries. Again, LooneyMelb going to be the ones this game to take away the Medusa, whereas RMIT Black last game. And Anti-Mage getting banned away, actually. Maybe that was in response to the Anti-Mage ban. We saw that RMIT Black banned the Anti-Mage. LooneyMelb wanted to ban the Medusa in case they were planning on picking the Medusa, and that's why they were banning the Anti-Mage away. Obviously a hero that is a little bit annoying for Mars to deal with. He wants to generally burst people down in a Spear of Mars combo in the arena. Can't really do that to Medusa. She's a little bit too tanky, so maybe a little bit of fear there, and that's why they wanted to get rid of it. But more than likely, they just did it based off the Anti-Mage ban, wanting to take away what they were likely trying to set up there on the RMIT Black lineup. Good water. It's very refreshing. Oh my goodness.
Radiant team back.
It's been a long day. Hope everyone's week is going well so far. My week is going swimmingly. We just had what did we have? I know there was a public holiday recently-ish. Mother's Day. That was it. Hope you all had a good Mother's Day.
10 seconds
I think it was a couple weeks ago.
5 seconds remaining.
Tiny
Dire
ban, very
team
stock
ban.
standard. And the Chaos Knight ban, actually. And it's going to be RMIT Black that bans the Chaos Knight, interestingly, even though they were the team that picked it last game. I don't know if LooneyMelb has a history of picking up Chaos Knight. Maybe they just didn't want to... They didn't want to pick it again. They didn't want LooneyMelb to pick
10
it here.
seconds remaining.
We'll have to wait and see.
5 seconds remaining. Dire team pick.
And here we go. The 15 pick. We'll see what they decide to whip out. It's more than likely going to be a carry. I would imagine. The anticipation. So what do they need here? I mean, we've got
10
Techies and Storm
seconds
Spirit.
remaining.
Obviously, a lot of magic damage there. Anyone that is immune to magic damage is great
5
here. That's probably
seconds
why they banned
remaining.
out the Juggernaut. There's not really any other cores that have magic immunity. There's Lifestealer, but
Radiant team pick.
that hero sucks a bit. And they're just going to go for the Lion. Interesting.
Yeah, if you're so good, then how
I
come
mean-
keep dying?
Hex is really good for Storm Spirit. The Burst is really good for Storm Spirit in general. And Techies doesn't like getting mana drained. So, makes sense.
10 seconds.
It's probably
remaining.
just for the instant Hex, though. You want that when you're playing against the Storm Spirit. You want instant CC on your support.
5 seconds
Blink Hex.
remaining.
Pretty much zero counterplay. Not much you can do about it. So yeah, smart. Surely they don't go through all their reserve time. No, they don't. Okay. Sand King is one of the heroes that was banned out last game. It is going to see the spotlight at the moment. Sand King, probably the highest picked position 3 in high elo at the moment. A lot of high MMR. POS 3 is really favoring him at the moment.
10
And
seconds remaining.
obviously Sandstorm, going to be really great at lots of the targeted CC that we have here.
5
Can't get
seconds
decrept
remaining.
very easily by Pugna. Can't get hexed very easily by Lion. So depending on whether one of them is going to be 4, one of them is going to be 5, it doesn't matter. He's able to deal with both of them extremely well. As they do have AoE spells, but they're not exactly the biggest nukes in the game. Pugna's is quite large, but it's not really that big until he gets a few points in it. Certainly not going to be, you know, make or break in the lane in the early levels. And if he's just getting AoE magic nuked in his Sandstorm, he can get, like, raindrops, maybe? We'll see. But Undying is going to get picked. Maybe that's an Undying 5 into the Mars. Would make some sense. It is a good pick into Mars. You're able to put the
10
Tombstone
seconds remaining.
just outside of Arena, and then suddenly the Arena is not a very fun place to be
5
for Mars
seconds
or his
remaining.
team.
Radiant team back.
Riki.
LooneyMelb going to pick up the Ricky once again for Monica. There. It is good here. The silence really does screw with Storm Spirit. You can also stop
10 seconds.
you can stop the
remaining.
channel of
5
Sand King
seconds
ult.
remaining.
that I've forgotten the name of. It's not Earthquake. Wow. I can't remember what it is. On the tip of my tongue. Oh well. I'll just click on it when we get in game and I'll remember. Isn't that amazing? Definitely very tanky though. Techie, Sand King, Undying, Storm Spirit, all fairly high health pools. Which means Lion is not going to get the freest finger stacks this game. That's one thing to keep in mind. I would imagine they're not going to pick a very squishy position 1. Honestly, now that Ricky has been locked in, and now that Lion is locked in, maybe
10 seconds.
Lifestealer
remaining.
isn't so bad after all.
5 seconds remaining.
Did they just ban Lifestealer here, maybe? It's potentially the case. Quap getting banned by the opposing team.
Radiant team back.
I guess they realize that the enemy team is really lacking like AoE damage at the moment. They have a lot of single target damage, but AoE is very lacking. Taking Quap out of the equation, they don't have to worry about Big sonic waves. Big
10
screams of
seconds
pain.
remaining.
Annoying to kill as well for their team.
5 seconds
They really only
remaining.
have, like, what, Vortex? And that's the only very good instant, like, single target CC that they have. Unless Quap blinks onto a static mine from techies, in which case, that's cool. No, they're going to ban out Phantom Lancer, which is interesting. Why would you be scared of Phantom Lancer? Oh, I guess that makes sense. Because they could pick the Phantom Lancer to deny it from LooneyMelb, and now that I think about it, it's probably the only good option left for RMIT Black.
Radiant team pick.
Because you can't like decrep, you can't finger the correct one very easily, and Ricky, he does have his E, but still, he's not the best at dealing with illusion heroes.
Dire team pick.
And now that they've banned Quap, they don't have a good pos 2 answer for it. Really? There's like Leshrac, but Leshrac 2 is not amazing at the moment. You could be a Giga Chad and pick Shadow Fiend. They do go for Naga Siren, okay, so they go for another illusion hero.
5 seconds remaining.
I imagine that is Naga Siren 1. And the final pick here for LooneyMelb. We'll see what they decide to go for. Ugh, my days. The anticipation. But I guess we'll talk about what they're probably looking for. So again, they need a pos 2 here. Definitely. I think Pugna 2 is very bad into Storm Spirit. So they probably won't play that. They'll probably look for another 2 instead. I could not tell you at the top of my head who the textbook Storm Spirit counters are. But they definitely need something that has like AoE to deal with the Naga Siren illusions. If they pick something that's single target here, then they're kind of doomed. They could Giga Chat it and play Shadow Fiend. I don't know how the Shadow Fiend Storm Spirit matchup is. I think it's okay. Because you have more wave clear than he does with your razors. You can just wave clear and then leave and farm camps and then come back and wave clear and then leave. You're also ranged, so he can't really get his Storm Totem on you very easily. No, they're just going to go for the Void Spirit. Okay, that's fine. This is a hero that we've seen 9 play before. It makes sense. Well, those are going to be your 2 teams for this game 2. And again, whether or not it's going to be RMIT Black coming back to tie this one up 1-1, or whether or not it's going to be a clean 2-0 from the side of LooneyMelb, let's have to wait and see. Very exciting stuff. Very exciting indeed. We're going to have a quick look at our sponsors, though, before we carry on to our next game. Obviously, Predator. First and foremost, you can conquer new worlds with Predator Gaming today. As well as that, we have AOC for the best viewing experience. And of course, last but certainly not least, RIG or RIG for what it takes to win. Who are a wonderful little headset company. They make good headsets. And yeah, that's going to be them. We're going to throw it into the game in just a moment after it lets us load in. These teams both liking to go all the way to reserve time, don't they? Making us wait to see the action. But, I mean, it's been a fairly exciting draft. We got some good heroes on both sides. I'm always excited to see a techies. Even though that does mean there's probably going to be a 50-minute game, so strap yourselves in. Nevertheless.
Prepare for battle.
Naga definitely not the most picked. No, not the most picked hero.
안녕.
Sure. Sure. Yeah, if you're so good, then how come I keep dying?
30 seconds.
Not much
to
happening at this stage of the game.
You didn't see that coming.
Ooh, Bowl started blast off level 1. Looks like no mines just yet. Wait, what?
The battle begins.
Oh my goodness. Proximity mines? What? Okay, alright. Shows you how often I see techies in this game. He's been reworked. And I didn't even know. He's probably been reworked for like a year. And I haven't seen techies in like a year. Well, that's good. I don't know. Maybe this new techies doesn't make games go 50 minutes. Maybe? Copium?
Denied.
Yeah, this lane should be quite good for Fish. One thing that is ridiculous about techies is his attack range. Look at this. Look at this ring. Look at this ring around him. Compare that to this. Compare. It's silly. Why is it this big? I don't know. He needs it. They need it, I guess. Fish, obviously, level 1 Sand King. You only have your, actually, skilled Burrow Strike level 1. That's interesting. Normally you go for the Caustic Finale to push out the first wave. Ooh! The Fairy Fire, barely keeping him alive. Samsara going to be able to back out there and pop the salve. We nearly saw a very early first blood. And this is 9's signature hero, by the way. It did get counterpicked away from him last game by Snow Bunny. Looks like 9 was not going to let that happen again. Picking it up here. Even though this might traditionally not be the best Void Spirit matchup, in the end, he is just going to take hero comfortability over the matchup itself. And we are seeing exactly why it's not the best matchup. The amount of damage that Snow Bunny is able to put out is ridiculous. And unfortunately, the physical damage shield, not the best against the magic damage that the Storm Spirit is able to pump out. As for this bot side, again, Undying 5. As soon as we saw the Undying picked, we guessed this was probably going to be an Undying 5 that was just picked to counter the Mars in lane. That's exactly what we're seeing happen here. Spamming the decays, as you do on strength heroes. But Volkor's staying quite healthy still, so, you know, 0 mana on Wong Saroon and a very healthy Volkor, although no salve. So, a lot of regen being used to keep him at that level of health, but nevertheless, still not doing it too bad, not struggling too heavily.
My thanks will come later, when you least expect it.
Fish now level 2, getting the Caustic Finale. Level 3 coming soon. And then the Exodia of being really annoying to kill. All 3 abilities will be unlocked. Epicenter, that's the name of the spell that I was trying to remember in the loading screen. Caster, by the way. Epicenter. Yeah, interesting that he opted for Orb of Venom here. over just regen. You would assume more mana regen, more decays, but he actually wanted to chase down these this matchup with right clicks by the looks of things. And the Orb of Venom, if he's able to land one, he is. Can he chase? No. Okay. Was very close to maybe that Orb of Venom having quite a bit of value if he was able to chase down Zoobs, but alas, he's chasing quite far. Making sure Zoobs walks all the way around into the triangle. He's trying and cut off the courier. He finds it, actually. Wong Saroon right now just bullying Zoobs. Pops a mango. A decay for good measure. Ooh, but it is going to come at the cost of his position 1's courier. They're still just kind of engaging in supportal combat, as they would say. High-fiving. As you do. Meanwhile, in the top side, Monica finding a cheeky kill. It's a bowl. I guess Fish not able to peel effectively enough at this stage of the game. You know, Sand King, he is annoying to kill early, but he's not the best in skirmishes. Because he kind of has to pop Sandstorm to clear out the wave. And it has a 34-second cooldown right now. It was just 40 only a moment ago. So if he pops it to clear the wave, he can't exactly fight. He has to kind of just wait until the next wave. That is one of the downsides of Sand King, is you're kind of able to bully his support quite easily if they do misposition away from the Sand King too much out of that Sandstorm. The mid lane though, my goodness, nobody getting collapsed on. We're just talking about how this is a bad matchup for 9, but that kill is definitely going to make that much, much easier for the Void Spirit. We can see he's doing quite nicely in the last hits. Comfortably sitting at 5 ahead. Wait, New Techies is like a mage. That's cool.
Bounty.
Ooh, Fish is more than likely going to die here, no matter for the Burrow Strike. He does have Soul Ring, though. Just holding it. Pops the wand. Does have Burrow Strike mana. I guess he's waiting for Techies to maybe try turn it with Burrow Strike. No, he just knew he didn't have to use the mana. Okay. Very good recognition of your hero's limits.
Radiant's bottom tower is under attack.
Oh, that Techie's poke getting quite strong. But Monica going aggressive with those blink strikes. Nearly level 6. Obviously, that's when Ricky becomes much more annoying. They do have these sentries in the lane to spot out Fish's Sandstorm. Unsure if the Radiant know that they're there at this point. Time will tell. Techie's gonna get killed by a 9 gank. Once again. All going back to the fountain.
Dire's middle tower is under attack. Dire are scanning.
Itemization so far. Vorkor just kind of chilling with his wand. A good item against the decay spam that he's playing against at the moment. Ooh, but in the mid lane, Snow Bunny out of mana is able to get out. No damage to follow up. We do have Arena of Blood on the Mars. If he wants to maybe make a play. Looking to farm towards that Blink Dagger now. And that is going to be the big go window for this Dire side matchup, is Vorkor's Blink Dagger. Blink into Arena, into Spear. That is going to be a kill on most heroes. But Kay has been farming absolutely fantastically so far. Highest in the game. Sitting very comfortably up there in net worth. Highest on his team, at least he was, until Snowbunny just grabbed himself a kill.
Yeah, if you're so good, then how come I keep dying?
So many kills happening all over the map. It's very hard to observe. As someone who is caster by trade and not observer by trade. Oh my goodness, I rest my case. Topside, a bloodbath. Fish, excellent Burrow Strike, able to get out there. The dust is popped, but not wanting to commit under the tower, it seems. Fish is happy to just chill until the dust wears off. Not wanting to walk up. They do have some wards here. They're going to pop them down in the triangle by the looks of things. Oh, there's the arena. Vorkor looking to get aggressive here under Wong Sarong, and he finds the solo kill, 1v2 in the bottom side.
Another joins the Ash Legion.
Wonderfully done. This Naga Siren's just been farming up. Has not skilled the ultimate at level 6. Wanting to go for more farming value instead. Does mean that they're not going to have as much immediate value, being able to join fights at level 6, which is what Naga Siren is kind of not really picked for, but something that she can do is you can just skill that ultimate at level 6, and it's very good for being able to join fights early and have a ton of impact. But a few extra points in the illusions, a few extra points in the riptides does really, really help with your farm speed, so that is an option you can go. That's what Kay's decided to go for here, just trying to kind of curve over the top of the opposing team. Which does make sense. Naga Siren sort of does outscale all of these heroes to a degree. Definitely the more prominent position 1 scaler in this game. Also, I was just about to mention it, and they even have it queued up. Able to itemize for Diffusal Blade, which is very good against their comp, obviously. Not being able to spellcast on these heroes is a very big downside.
Radiant's middle tower.
9, very low, pops the wand. He's going to get chased down by Snow Bunny. This is surely going to be a kill, surely! Maybe I spoke too soon, the peel's coming through from Zoobs. It's going to be enough, potentially.
Structures are fortified.
Does not have an ult charge for another 10 seconds, but Vorkor is there for the peel. Can Wong Saroon find the decay, maybe? No. He actually lives. What an escape.
Radiant's bottom tower is under attack. Dire's middle tower is under attack. Radiant's bottom tower is under attack. Radiant's bottom tower has fallen.
They do spot Monica.
Yeah, you're so good.
Wong.
Then how come I keep dying?
Maybe going to go aggressive. He's looking for Snow Bunny. 9 there with the 8th Remnant to follow up as well. Do they have the damage? Yes, they do, and that's exactly why they picked Ricky. The silence, so good at taking down that Storm Spirit. Wong Saroon maybe walking up a little bit too close as well, and that is going to be a double kill for Monica. Tried to bait them into the mines, but it was a little bit too aggressive, and Vorkor is there as well with the arena to mop up Bowl. That is going to be Dire taking a sizable 3k gold lead now.
Is under attack.
Quite a slow man.
Dire's top tower is under attack.
And they find K as well.
Radiant's middle tower is under attack. Radiant structures are fortified. Radiant's middle tower is under attack. Radiant's middle tower has fallen.
Fish with the Sandstorm.
Radiant's top tower is under attack.
Definitely just a lot of overstepping here from the Radiant side that we didn't see last game. Maybe a little bit of frustration after their loss in game 1. A little bit too over-eager, I should say, to try and take back this game 2. And it's resulting in some very aggressive plays that are costing them.
Radiant's top tower is under attack.
The arena is popped. Nice textbook kill onto Snow Bunny there. Downside of Storm Spear, right? You're able to CC him up. Gonna die very quickly.
Radiant's top tower
And CC is definitely something this Dire lineup has in spades this game.
is under attack. Radiant's top tower is under attack.
Vol getting a little bit too aggressive. The Undying there to try and save him, but it's not going to be enough in the end. The Flesh Golem popped as well as the Epicenter. They're going to look for 9, but he's going to be able to get out off to the side with the ultimate.
Top tower is under
Invisibility rune is popped, but they do have detection in the area, unfortunately, and he is going to get found out and taken down. Will they be able to find the Ricky? Ooh, a great double stun! The Burrow Strike from Fish sets up both kills, and this is going to be Radiant maybe showing some signs of life in this second game.
Dire's middle tower is under attack.
Loaded to the gills.
Okay, oh my goodness, that could be a disastrous miss. No, it won't. They're still going to be able to get the kill onto K, but a little bit of an embarrassing miss there from Vorkor.
Dire are scanning.
Both teams just kind of moving around, farming, placing vision,
Dire's top tower
As
is
you would
under
do.
attack.
Top tower going to go down here from
Dire's
Snow
top
Bunny.
tower has fallen. Radiant's bottom tower is under attack. Dire's top tower is under attack. Radiant structures are fortified.
It's Ricky very strong at the moment. Double damage rune may not be enough to get the Sand King out to safety, as in comes 9 for the follow-up. Going to be able to blow up Fish. Bowl getting taken off in the side by Samsara and Monica. It's a nice 2 clean kills for the side of LooneyMelb. What will they do with them? I like the cosmetics here from Monica.
Dire's top tower is under attack.
The definitely not Blades of Azeroth reference daggers. If you know, you know.
Zip zap.
Oh, great arena there from Vorkor. It's going to find one. Not even going to bother with trying to kill Wong Saroon. Knows he doesn't have the damage to do it in time. All the cooldowns.
Radiant's bottom tower is under attack.
Monica just going to clean up Fish in the mid lane again. That's Silence super good at locking him down in place.
Even I can appreciate that.
I owe you one.
Just blink into Silence, Diffusal so he can't get out of the smoke, and
Radiant's
Monica's
top
going to be able to
tower
find
is
a
under
lot of
attack.
kills that way.
Bounty.
unfortunately, Bowl caught lacking on the wave once again.
My target all along.
And with Wong Sarong, the two supports here, just getting picked off. 6k gold lead so far for Team LooneyMelb. Sitting with a quite comfortable lead.
Radiant's bottom tower is under attack. Radiant's bottom tower has fallen.
Great arena. Snowbuddy comes in to try and help out his position 3, but he just does not have the damage to kill anyone that's on top of Fish, and he is unfortunately going to be a very dead Sand Scorpion. They committed the arena for it, but doesn't have a very long cooldown, and there is no Sand King available for the next 26 seconds. They do, unfortunately, ult an illusion. No, unlucky. Tried to get him with the sleep dart there. To no avail. Maybe Vorkor getting a little bit too aggressive here. He is getting dropped down. Bowl as well, though, but the epicenter comes through. This is why you pick the Sand King. But no! Unfortunate CC. But here comes Snow Bunny zipping on in to finish up the Vorkor kills finally. And Monica might just be next to follow, but not if Nine has anything to say about it. He's going to blow up Snow Bunny like it's no man's business. And looking for Wong Sarong next as the rest of the team rotates over to the other side and finishes off Zoobs. Is Nine going to be in a 1v3 situation? Going to just opt to back off here instead of trying to get any fancy plays.
The only one surprised.
Ooh. Unfortunately walked up to the wave. The point and click CC coming through from K. He's going to secure that one up. Very nicely done by the Radiant side. They were super behind, but we saw them finally get a nice team fight. Vorkor did not have Arena available to finish that one off, unfortunately. And they, I suppose, knew that and really took advantage of it. I must say, though, Bowl super far behind on levels at this point of the game. And these level 1 mines really not doing all that much damage. Unfortunately. Take me back to release techies. Old proximity mines, level 1. You'd click on the wrong patch of grass and instantly die, level 1. Very exciting. With no counterplay, by the way.
Radiant's middle tower is under attack.
I think that was very healthy, to be honest. Very healthy design. They should bring that back. Samsara getting killed. My goodness, Radiant all over the place right now. Snowbunny with a double kill. They do find the sleep dart, though, onto Snowbunny, looking to turn things around. There's the arena we talked about before, as they find a clean pickup into an over-aggressive Storm Spirit. And Dire biting back finally, showing that they are still the ones here with gold lead.
Dire's top tower is under attack. Dire's structures are fortified. Radiant's bottom tower is under attack.
It was a fairly big wave that I thought no one was going to catch, but a couple of people have come down here. Good stuff.
I'll take that.
Get the items. Wong Sarong looking to go towards the Holy Locket. Ball working towards his 4-staff. Snow Bunny looking to finish up the Sanj and Kaya by the looks of things. Makes sense. Volkor heading towards the BKB. That's going to be definitely a very big spike for this Dire side. And 9 going for the Aeon Disc. Makes sense. He has been getting bursted down in these fights quite a bit. BKB next for Monica, as you would expect. And Zoob's true hard support here. Queuing up just all the support items you could ask for, including the shard to be able to kill all of the illusions instantly. Very cool. And Kay actually just got the Aghanims. Good stuff. It's going to be really good though, because the BKBs are about to arrive, and now she's able to root the BKB targets, which is going to be really huge for stopping their efficiency, now that she's gotten that Aghanims before the big BKB spikes.
Radiant's top tower is under attack. Dire's bottom tower is under attack. Dire's middle tower is under attack. Dire's bottom tower has fallen. Radiant's top tower has fallen. Dire's middle tower is under attack. Radiant's top tower is under attack. Radiant's top tower is under attack.
Ooh, big engage. Oh, never mind. I heard the blink strike sound. I was like, ooh, finally some big action. But no, he was killing an illusion. The stalemate continues, it would seem. Very greedy Roshan. Maybe punish. We'll have to see. Yeah, Zoob's here just being an absolute illusion clearer. This is why, you know, Lion a really good counterpick to the Naga in general.
Bottom tower is under attack.
Especially with that shard online, which he hasn't gotten yet, but when he does, my goodness. Oh, the big collapse here though. They're looking to go in. The Aegis, it gets stolen by Snow Bunny. The epicenter is there, and they're turning this around onto the Dire side. Finger of Death from the outside is going to finish off Bowl. And Monica is still alive, doing damage, still chugging along in the outside of this fight, chucking out the sleep dart. There's the Aegis we just talked about. It is popped, but Kay in the outside is doing so much damage, able to actually find the kill onto Samsara. Maybe is going to do the same to Monica in just a moment. And if not, it might be Snow Bunny, as he does pop the dust, and it is going to find the Ricky. They do CC him up, though, and stop any chance of killing Ricky. And a great blink spear from Volkor is going to secure K as well. That was nearly a disaster for the Dire side, but they somehow cling to their senses and they're able to turn things around and look to maybe put the pressure onto this Radiant side.
I love you.
Radiant's middle tower is under attack.
Sneak attack? What for?
You folks ever feel like you need a coffee, but it's like 9:36 p.m. and you have to wake up early tomorrow, and so you know you can't really have a coffee because the caffeine will just keep you awake for way too long, and then you are going to be miserable tomorrow. But you really wish you could, but you can't. Kind of sucks. Wish caffeine, like, someone should invent, like, a caffeine that only lasts, like, an hour or something, right? Like, you have to do something for a very brief amount of time where you need to be, like, front and center. You got the caffeine there, but then, oh my goodness, speaking of front and center, Zoobs getting collapsed on there by the Dire's side, or the Radiant side, I should say. Melted.
I love you.
It's a nice little pick, no buyback available. Oh, but here's the counter. Vorkor going forward, looking for Bowl once again. He's popping as many mines as he can. In comes Snow Bunny with the BKB, the epicenter as well. They're looking for Monica. He tries to blink strike to safety. Will he be able to? Yes, he will. Samsara also going to live on low health. And now Snow Bunny, no mana left to defend himself. Does get sleep darted. Wong Saroon trying to do his best to keep his position 2 alive. The TP back to base is there. That's going to be full mana for the Storm Spirit as he re-engages into this fight. The Dire, though, not letting up their assault as they keep on pushing forward. Great Stun is going to find its mark on the Bowl on the outside as they melt down Wong Saroon as well. Here's Storm Spirit, though, round 2. He one-shots 9! He one-shots Samsara in the back! They look for Vorkor! It's a disaster! Snow Bunny from out of nowhere! Meanwhile, though, Zoob's going to find a Finger of Death kill onto K in the backside, and it's going to be a 3 versus 2 situation at the moment as BKB Drain Mana is going to completely zone off the enemy team. Vorkor blinking forward, looking for more. Spear of Mars, it's going to find itself onto the Undying. Oh my goodness, nobody going forward, looking to kill Zoobs, but the mini BKB is there with the Drain Mana once again. Snow Bunny, no mana left, but he's just right-clicking for dear life. It's going to be enough. Zoobs goes down. They're going to look for Vorkor now. It's a 2 versus 1, but this is one very tanky Mars. They have to do their best to be safe. An unfortunate miss on the Q trajectory there. And he blinks, gets the shield slam. Oh my days, and finds himself to pick up onto the Techie's Bowl.
Radiant's bottom tower is under attack.
What a play. My goodness. Snow Bunny saving the team from certain disaster there. Turning a bad situation into an okay one. And we do look here, that was overall going to be a gold swing in the favor of the Radiant side, as you would expect when they were that behind. I thought something similar might happen. I saw the Storm Spirit TP out. I'm thinking he's going to regen full mana and be able to get that zip all the way back to the fight, but I was not expecting such a perfect trajectory to one-shot 2 heroes on the way. Very good reaction time there from Snow Bunny as well, dodging the Spear of Mars from Vorkor. Three stacks so far on the Finger of Death. Not amazing, but not the worst.
Radiant's middle tower is under attack.
That's just going to be a ton of CC. Oh, but in comes the Techies to delay things down. Snow Bunny with another BKB. Looking for Samsara here on the Pugner. He's going to have enough damage to one-shot him. Mega kill streak right now for Snow Bunny as he zips back on out of the fight. But meanwhile, Vorkor on a rampage. 9 looking to back him up. Goes forward. The Yule's onto Snow Bunny. They don't have any follow-up though. He's going to be able to zip back off to safety, but it's still going to be a 1-for-2 situation. The buyback forced out from Sand King. Still has the epicenter available though for the hold. If they do decide to try and push this tier 2, they have to do so very, very carefully.
Radiant's middle tower is under attack. Radiant structures are fortified. Radiant's middle tower is falling.
There's the epicenter we were just talking about. Look at the damage. Zoobs gets deleted. Monica is on 1 HP. And oh my goodness, K is still alive. He is able to pop the dust. They see where Monica is. The BKB is there to keep himself alive for a little bit while longer, but not for long. He ends up getting taken down. And there is the Naga Siren ultimate as well to secure up another kill, maybe two. Will Vorkor TP out? Yes, he will. He gets out just in the nick of time, but that is still going to be a 3-kill situation for the side of Radiant as they find themselves holding on for dear life once again, and a 2k gold swing to their team. That is absolutely what you want to see. And look at the damage on this Sand King. 6k, and it's all coming out of that epicenter that landed onto nearly all 5 heroes. Absolutely masterfully done here by this Radiant side. They knew their abilities that they had on cooldown, and they abused them to their absolute fullest potential. And Sand King finishing up the BKB here. He's going to be ready to go again in 45 seconds thanks to that regeneration rune. And the Dire really have to assess what they're doing wrong here to be able to losing such a lead. Okay, walking up here trying to get some damage onto this tier 1 tower. Not the best tower taker though, especially without a creep wave to get past that backdoor protection. Doing his best. They blink forward, they're going to look to try and kill. Oh, Zoobs goes down. Samsara in the backside. Snow Bunny maybe looking to finish him off. No, decides to just back out here to safety. Fish. They did have to commit the Naga Siren ult. They weren't too sure if they were going to be able to get out in time. Bol's TP is a little bit delayed. No, he's going to be able to get out anyhow. Still, most of that tier 1 tower's HP for their efforts. Not too bad, not too shabby at all.
Dire are scanning.
Smoke here for the Dire side. See if they find anything. Smoke are not going to get popped by these illusions. So they know they're illusions because the smoke isn't popping.
Dire's courier has been killed.
这么菜的队友不会生气吧，哥哥？
I don't know what this means.
Radiant are scanning.
Need someone who's Chinese to translate the Chinese voice lines for me.
My delight.
I can't tell if it's BM or not. Monica quite close to this Skull Basher. Should be a nice power spike for him. Good stuff. Meanwhile though, Zoob's gonna get caught out again! Disastrous. It seemed like Bol was the support that just kept getting caught at the start of this game, but it's turned into Zoobs. Snow Bunny and Fish just have his number and are calling it on speed dial. The root was there, but unfortunately he was able to ult out in the nick of time. Ooh, Wong's rune very, very low. Monica's going to find him. The BKB is there. It's going to expire, though, and they might have the collapse to follow it up. The epicenter is there. 9 going forward a little bit too early. The Aeon disc into the BKB to try and buy himself some time. Here's the Arena of Blood, but he misses the spear. It goes wide on Fish. They do have the damage, though, to finish off K. Fish is going to have to walk up onto the high ground and TP back to safety. They also find themselves Bowls scurrying away on the backside, and that is going to be disastrous for the Radiant as they find themselves 3 members down. Buyback available on the Naga Siren, but whether or not they want to commit it, that's going to be another thing. 2.7k gold sitting on this Naga Siren. That's a lot you're giving up. Oh my, Dota 2. What a game. What a game Dota 2 is. It's going to be the Shard. I'm going to give that over to their good pal, the Void Spirit. Get himself the Dissimulate upgrade.
You're so good, then how come I keep dying?
What's up?
Yep, no, this techie still makes games go 50 minutes. What was that? Guy just one-shot the entire creep wave with one spell, and he has 3 charges. Okay. I guess it's not as bad as trying to clear high ground into remote mines, but still. Four stacks on Zoobs. Fish just waiting so patiently right now. He knows that this epicenter is going to make or break the game. Vorkor going to be the first one to walk up to the high ground. Aegis on Monica. Here's the engage. It's going to be from Snow Bunny. He blinks in, gets the Vortex. No, that is going to be it by the looks of things. Big engage, though, is going to find itself onto Bol. Bol with the immediate buyback. That is BKB popped by Monica, though. Which means if they do get the kill, they have Aegis, but no BKB out of the Aegis respawn. Snow Bunny, BKB is forced to be popped. Same with Vorkor with the Arena of Blood, zoning off the rest of the team from collapsing. 9 goes forward. Able to get the Assimilate back to safety with that shard upgrade. A lot of back and forth right now, trading of resources between these two teams. However, they still have the Aegis, so I imagine the assault will continue. The refresher rob by Vorkor. Second arena is there. He pops it. They might have the kill here. No! A beautiful Naga ulti is going to be able to keep the epicenter from going off. Fish, BKB, epicenter. The damage, it might just be there. Oh, will he stay alive? He's able to get out on 1 HP. Vorkor with a beautiful snipe in the trees with the Spear of Mars. Prevents him from getting back to the fountain. Fish with the immediate buyback though. He's looking for more. So is Snow Bunny. 3-man Vortex in the back line. Look at the damage. Look at the AoE. It's absolutely everywhere. And another epicenter. No, that's just the shard. My mistake. But the damage, it's still so much. Radiant might just be able to hold on to this game for a little bit while longer. Or will they? Dire popping their own buybacks now as they finally find Monica. But the Aegis, we talked about it. It's still there. No BKB available out of the spawn, but it doesn't even need to be as there's no CC upon respawn to keep him from melting through the Radiant health bars. And this is going to be LooneyMelb looking to close this one out. Looking to close this out with a 2-0. There's been some crazy team fights this series, and it looks like it's going to end on another crazy team fight, just like we've seen time and time again from these players. Absolutely maddening, but there is only 2 players left, no buybacks to help them, and they are not able to win this in a 2 versus 4 situation without any ultimates available. Naga ulti in 2 seconds, but I can't help but wonder if it is just going to be all for naught as they do not have any help for over a minute. And this is surely going to be GG's called. Yes, it is. Fish calling GG. 9 calling GG. It is GG's all around. And that is going to be a University of Melbourne's LooneyMelb clearing this game out with a clean 2-0 victory and advancing further on into the bracket. My goodness, what a series, ladies and gentlemen. But that is going to be LooneyMelb taking it out with a 2-0 tonight. Hope you all have had a wonderful time watching along. We do indeed have our sponsors to mention one last time. Which I'll pull up here, but honestly, we had some great games. I will say it was super hard fought in both games by RMIT Black, and I am excited to maybe see them make it way through the bracket further and see if they're able to get the rematch here against LooneyMelb, who have been playing so well, but definitely is going to be exciting. As for our wonderful sponsors, I will have to throw it over to this screen to mention them. But, of course, first, we do indeed have Predator, where you can conquer new worlds with Predator Gaming today. If you don't know who Predator are, they are the gaming PC partner of the AEL. You can conquer new worlds with Predator Gaming. Predator puts power and precision into your hands, and you can elevate your gaming experience in every way with quality and performance thanks to Predator. As well as that, we've got our very flash AOC up next, who have just launched the first ever monitor crafted for League of Legends. I know you Dota fans, and I know you love your League of Legends. And they have represented in every aspect the game, from the iconic Hextech design and logo to a specific game setting mode designed for League of Legends itself. The in-game visuals achieve their fullest potential from the combination of AOC's monitor expertise with the creators of League of Legends Riot Games. And last but certainly not least, we've got RIG or RIG, depending on how you choose to skin your cat. They are developing headsets to deliver superior audio quality for competitive gamers and streamers at all levels, and you can join the RIG team and enhance your gaming experience today. So definitely do go and get on top of that. Wonderful sponsors. I'm actually looking at an AOC monitor right in front of me. Of course, it's not their wonderful Aegon Pro AG275QXL today, which, by the way, you can go and check out at au.aoc.com. But it's a bit of an oldie but a goodie that I picked up a while ago, and it served me good over the years, so I can definitely attest to AOC's quality in their monitor making capacities. But as for me, folks, that was just two absolutely crazy back-to-back games. Make sure you stay tuned for more right here on the Australian Esports University League Season 1 for 2022, where, of course, you can check out the AEL and their upcoming events, as well as all of the live streams by heading over to @AU Esports League on pretty much everything: Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, YouTube, even TikTok for you Zoomers out there in the chat. And of course on Twitch, where if you're watching this now, you know exactly where to find us. But for those of you who are watching elsewhere on YouTube or Facebook Gaming, twitch.tv/AEL Uni is the Twitch channel to check out. And sometimes there's so much action going on, just like tonight, where Bard has actually been solo casting another game going on at the same time, or another series, over on twitch.tv/AEL Uni 2. So make sure to follow both of them, because otherwise, you could miss out on some of the action, so definitely don't be a fool and don't fall into that trap. But as for me, of course, Katie is cast down there on the Twitter. Don't use Twitter a whole ton, but probably should use it a little bit more. And if you give me a follow, maybe that will give me a nice incentive to use it more. So go and check that out, why not? But until next time, hope to see you right here for more action on the Australian Esports League. And Cadius, hope you have a wonderful rest of your Thursday night.